Okay. So it was great news. Oh my goodness, it was so good because well, I was out for resentencing. And so because the Supreme Court said you can't use the 1512 obstruction charge on January 6 defendants, that was my major felony. So I was supposed to be resentenced. And to be resentenced, you have to leave your facility and go back to DC to be resentenced. You have to do it in person. And so I was back at the DC jail, what people know as the gulag, waiting to be resentenced. And there was another January 6th woman in there, and she's just like, she's the sweetest woman ever. She's so beautiful. Her name's Liv Pollock. And um, we were together during the election and, well, not the election, but the inauguration. And we just watched it on TV. Like, I knew it was coming because my kids had met Trump, but I didn't know when it was coming. And at the beginning, his first speech, he didn't mention us at all. And so then there was like this paranoia kind of set in, like, oh no, what if we don't get what if we have to wait? What if it takes a year? What if it's some other way of helping us? Um, we just didn't know what was going to happen. But then as the day went on, it became very clear that we were getting pardoned. And then I thought, like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna be out of here tonight. I was talking to Cynthia Hughes on the phone. I'm like, I'm going to the inaugural ball. I'm going to go in these gray sweatpants, and I'm just going to, show up. And I guess they were orange in DC. They were orange, but of course that didn't happen because everything was slower, and the jail was just really trying to keep us in. The men refused to lock in that night, actually. And surprisingly, they weren't sprayed or anything because the men were, they said, we got a pardon. You need to let us out. But me and Liv were more patient, so we didn't really fight about that. But at 1 o'clock in the morning, they woke me up and they took me downstairs, and I was like, awesome, I'm getting out, But it's not a normal thing to be woken up out of your bed to leave jail at 1 o'clock in the morning. And no other January 6th person was woken up and taken downstairs, and so that was kind of weird. And my ride, which was Cynthia again, she's sitting outside the DC jail, and I'm in the chairs in intake. I can see the door that I can leave through. I know she's out there waiting for me. And somebody from the jail comes up to me and says, you have to go back to your holding cell because you can't leave until your record is clear. And these holding cells in DC are nasty. Like things you would maybe picture in a comic book if it's like drawn the worst way, like balls of hair on the floor and dirt. And I don't know what that is on the toilet. There's no toilet paper. They fed me breakfast. They didn't feed me lunch. I'm in a holding cell now. So now I can't call my family. I have no tablet out a message and say, hey, I'm okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't see any other January 6 people coming downstairs. So I'm confused. No officers want to help me. If they weren't helpful at Hazleton, they were definitely not helpful here in DC. And so eventually the marshals show up. Thank God for the marshals. Um, and I just started crying. A marshal came up to talk to me and to check on me. And I was just like crying, just tears, because I didn't know what was happening. And I'm like, can I please just call my family so they know that I'm okay? And she said, just hold on. And she came back about 10 minutes later, and she took me out of that jail. And then she just dropped me by, like, she couldn't drop me there, but she dropped me around the corner from the vigil they had across the street from the DC jail, from Freedom Corner. And I walked and partially ran back around the corner to that group of people that was there, but they didn't realize it was me because I didn't come out the front door. The marshals had to take me out. And those people there, what a blessing. Like, people don't realize what a blessing they were to us. All the people that wrote letters and all the people that prayed and all the people that stood at that corner and even the people on social media that were just like speaking out for us. They have no idea how much they made it, that we could get through this without buckling and folding, because I get to that crowd and I asked some lady, some stranger, can I call my daughter? I've just released. And then when they realized it was a January 6th person, I was the first one out. They were so prepared. They had boots for me to put on because I'm just in clothes, which it was very cold that day. They had boots, they had hat, they had hand warmers, they had water, they had sweatshirts, and they just showered me with love. And of course, the media went crazy and they were just surrounded, which was a little overwhelming, but whatever. And then, um, Cynthia Hughes, she shows up, uh, gets me real clothes. And I felt so nasty after that time in prison because, like at Hazleton, before I left there for probably months, we didn't have hot water to take showers in. We had cold water. We had, it's just like a dirty facility. And I just felt gross. And then I'd been stuck in this holding cell and, I felt gross. And so she just got me real clothes and took me to an Airbnb where I could get a real shower, like good soap and good toothpaste and a real hair products and a real brush. Cause like DC, they don't even give you a hairbrush there. You don't have a brush. Like, look how long my hair is. And I couldn't have a brush there. Um, and so it was a lot and it felt really good just to be showered with love. And then she put me on a plane to go home. And I'll tell you what, when I saw my kids, it was so hard not to cry, even just thinking about getting to see them again. And my youngest, she's 8. She just came running to me. It was like a Hallmark movie. She saw me and she just started booking. She's just like running to me, jumped up in my arms. And
Isn't that me?
yeah, she's sitting right over here actually. So, um, and our family is definitely not fixed. There's no normal for us. Like the normal is never going to come back, I don't think. But at least I'm out, and I've been told it'll take a while. Like for other people, it takes like a year for them to adjust being back out. And I'm so thankful for our president because I could have been in there for years, and instead I was only for just over a year. Um, he's a great man, and the fact that he kept his promise that first 24 hours, to me that told me again what I needed to know about him. He is a man of his word. He keeps his promises. He does what he says he's going to do, and that's a valuable thing, especially in politics, because they make promises and it doesn't mean they're going to keep them. But he's a man of his word. If they just put my name in, rachelpowell.com or .org, I have a website with a link that will go there. That's really the easiest way is just to know my name. Again, so I'm just back on Facebook. I'm just back on Instagram. I said I would never go back to those platforms again because they gave me the boot before I had even turned myself in. I was like, I'm never going back, never going to do it. And yet here I am, like literally just this month, I'm back on those. So they can find me there, and I'm going to start making some videos. Um, and so they'll be able to find me on YouTube and Rumble. I journaled my whole year in prison. Every single day I wrote down, I journaled. And so as I start typing out my journaling paperwork, I'll probably be making videos and sharing my experiences there. So people really might want to find me because it should be interesting and eye-opening for them. And as I go through my paperwork as well, I got all my legal documents sent back from prison, and so I have a lot of forms that I filed that I'll be able to prove that the BOP is not doing what it should, that they are interfering with the grievance process. And anybody out there that really cares, they really want to know what's going on in the BOP, find me, follow me because I'll be sharing that information as I go through it. And it's going to be slow going because there's just so much. And, I am going to be moving again. And, just there's life and work to be done. But I'm going to go through it and share.
Now that you know where we've been, find out where we're going. Tune in to Ladies Love Politics, where you can stay informed without going insane.